Good morning and welcome to Farm Factor. I'm your host, Jamie Bloom. Today, Kyle Bauer visits with Mandy Fox with Certified Crop Advisors. She explains what a Certified Crop Advisor is and what it means to the consumer. Next up, Greg Akagi brings us the Kansas soybean update. Then Duane Toews meets with Kevin Norton at NRCS. He talks about conservation programs that are important to Kansas, as well as legislative changes to programs in the future. Next, we'll learn what's going on around the state with the Kansas Farm Bureau update. And to wrap up, it's Plain Talk with Kyle and Duane. It's all coming up on Farm Factor. Stay tuned.
Closed captioning brought to you by Ag Promo Source. Together we grow. Learn more at agpromosource.com.
Kansans have a new choice for Medicare supplement insurance plans. With Medicare supplement insurance plans from Kansas Farm Bureau, you have access to 4 levels of coverage, affordable rates, and service from an organization that's served Kansans for more than 100 years. For more information on Kansas Farm Bureau Medicare supplement plans, including rates and to apply, visit kfbhealthplans.com.
For a few weeks each year, historic Lecompton turns into a living Christmas village as dozens of volunteers, thousands of ornaments, and hundreds of trees come together to transform the Territorial Capitol Museum into a Christmas postcard. The spirit of Christmas engulfs the town and all who visit.
Merry Christmas from historic Lecompton!
What if U.S. soybean meal were more than a commodity? If seed companies and the soybean checkoff built a better variety? That future is here. The time is now. To meet end-user demands, the soybean checkoff is investing in the compositional quality of soybeans, including meal. A message from the Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff. Progress powered by Kansas farmers.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture. To join today or for more information, go to kfb.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome to Farm Factor. Up first, Kyle Bauer talks to Mandy Fox, a Certified Crop Advisor.
Hi, this is Kyle Bauer. I get an opportunity to visit with Mandy Fox. She is an officer with Certified Crop Advisors, but that's not your job.
No, I'm actually an environmental consultant, and I currently work for a group of dairies in southwest Kansas. They fall under the umbrella of Ag Oasis. It includes Toll's Dairy, Moscow Dairy, and Lost Trail Dairy, which is in the Panhandle of Oklahoma.
When I hire a crop advisor, will I see any sign on their cards or their credentials that they're a certified crop advisor?
Sure, they're allowed to put it on their card. Most of them will put it behind their name on their business cards, like as a CCA or a CPAG for a certified professional agronomist. We also have certified soil scientists to signify that they have gone through the proper training and testing and certifications and are following continuing ed and ethics protocols.
As a consumer, do I care about that?
As a producer, I would look to hire those because they are holding themselves to a higher industry standard for the producer, and they're continuing to stay active and engaged in the industry as it evolves.
Certified crop advisors, how long have they been around?
We're celebrating our 25th year this year.
Is it a regional thing or national or international?
It is international. In North America, we partner with Canada, so they attend our North American meetings. We're also starting some branches in Brazil and Mexico and South America.
Once you get those initials behind your name, is there any other responsibility after that?
Yes, every 2 years you have to complete 40 hours of continuing ed, and it's delegated into each of the different sectors of agronomy. For instance, crop consulting, soil and water management, integrated pest management. And so we can't just focus on one area, we have to focus on the broad spectrum. And there's also professional development, and then we sign a code of ethics every 2 years to make sure that we're upholding those standards as well.
Is that part of the association's job, is to find that continuing education?
The association does a great job of providing different opportunities. They'll do events that you can go to with different ag groups. You can do webinars online. You can do some quizzes from magazines that they have like research studies on. And so the opportunities for continuing ed are endless.
As a certified crop consultant, does it mean more money to me? Can I charge more for my services if I'm a certified crop advisor?
You certainly can. I know there are certain jobs that I have been hired for solely because of those reasons. I work in the regulatory arena, and so there are certain branches of, for instance, Kansas Department of Health and Environment that requires a certified crop advisor to write that plan, and so I'm in a tier that not everybody can be qualified for.
We are at National Association of Farm Broadcasting's Trade Talk, visiting with Mandy Fox, and she is with the Certified Crop Advisors. This is Kyle Bauer reporting.
Thanks, Kyle. Be sure and come back after these messages for this week's Kansas Soybean Update.
Welcome to the Western Kansas Wildlife Travel Center, right here in my hometown of Oakley, Kansas. We're the front door of Western Kansas, located on 3 main highways, I-70, US 83, and US 40. And all those roads lead to history, beautiful scenery, and adventure, no matter which direction you go. We now have an IHOP. That brand that you've trusted up and down the road in all your travels is staffed with local folks, real people just like you and me, and we're waiting on you to join us. So for fun, adventure, fuel up, fuel your body, and let's have some fun.
Clyde Sutton, Ness City, Kansas. Lived on this place all my life. About a year and a half ago, got to where I couldn't saddle a horse. The pain was terrible. Read about stem cell. First it wasn't for me, then they started doing neck and back. Went and had it done. As you can see, I saddled a horse. I'm still building fence. Love to shoot a shotgun rifle, and I'm able to participate, not like I used to, but nevertheless I can do the things I used to do, and life is good.
Kansas Farm Bureau has served farm families and rural Kansas for more than 100 years, and we're pleased to offer new healthcare coverage choices for Kansans in 2020 through Kansas Farm Bureau health plans. No matter what stage of life you're in, we'll have options that fit your lifestyle. Plus, our network of providers is one of the largest available throughout the state of Kansas and beyond. For more information, including the different plans available, or to get a quote, visit kfbhealthplans.com.
This segment brought to you by the Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Welcome back to Farm Factor. Now we turn to Greg Akagi with this week's Kansas Soybean Update.
This is the Kansas Soybean Update. It's brought to you by the Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers. Kitra Cooper is joining us. She is one of the co-chairs of the Women Managing the Farm Committee and the 2020 Women Managing the Farm Conference. Kitra is not too far away on February 13th and 14th.
Yes, in Manhattan at the Hilton Garden Inn. We also do have some pre-conference tracks scheduled on Wednesday, February 12th, and registrants can sign up for those too in addition to the regular conference if they want.
What's its main purpose?
Its main purpose is to bring together women involved in all aspects of agriculture. It began as a way for women who are on the farm producing crops, or landowners that are just not quite sure how to handle all the business aspects of it, could come together and learn. And we've really expanded from then. We have women from ag industry. We've got women who work in conservation and natural resources. But it is still geared toward women who work in agriculture.
And what are some of the highlights going to be for the 2020 conference?
We keep the same format every year, but one of the fun things is that we rotate our keynote speakers. And an interesting one this year is going to be a one-woman dramatic play on farmland transfer. The play is called Map of My Kingdom.
You also have an early bird registration deadline coming up.
We do. We've extended this year. We're going to have registration open, but we're going to run early bird registration through January 17th. And we're keeping the rate at $150 this year for early bird.
And the Kansas Soybean Commission is one of many sponsors for your sessions.
Yes, we are actually offering a new item this year. It's going to be a commodity organization-sponsored breakfast on Friday morning. So we're going to let the commodity organizations come in and talk a little bit about what they do. They're going to sponsor the breakfast, and then our keynote speaker during that time is going to be Chad Hart, crop markets specialist and professor of economics at Iowa State University.
Kitra, I know there are some scholarship deadlines. What are these scholarships about?
The scholarships are an opportunity that would provide to women who would like to attend a conference and could really benefit from it, but maybe just can't quite come up with the $150 registration fee. So there is a scholarship application online on our website, and I encourage anybody interested who has a need for that to go in and apply.
And if people want to register, want to see the agenda and all the great speakers that are coming, they can go to the website?
Yes, we've got everything on there. We're going to be updating it very soon here with the rest of our keynote speaker information and opening up registration.
That is womenmanagingthefarm.com. Kitra Cooper, one of the co-chairs of the Women Managing the Farm Conference Committee about the 2020 event, February 13th and 14th, joins us on the Kansas Soybean Update. It's brought to you by the Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers. Learn more at kansassoybeans.org. For Kansas Soybeans, I'm Greg Akagi.
Coming up, Duane Toews talks with Kevin Norton about NRCS conservation programs in the state.
Sure Crop Fertilizers was started by my father, Don Sherman, and my mother, Shirley Sherman. Family business that started in the 80s. We predominantly focus on plant nutrients and what we can do to give growers better responses with the fertilizer dollars that they do, and what we can do to make those things work better for the grower. We're based out of Seneca, Kansas. We work with growers in their soil analysis to figure out what they need, and then we can put those in a blend that gives them the best results, and so that we can deliver that direct to their farm so that they have those nutrients where they need them, when they need them, and so that they can apply them in a manner that's very efficient to them and works well in their planting systems and what they're doing. Sure Crop Fertilizers has been around for a long time. We always say we're big enough to take care of everything you need, but yet we're small enough to do it quickly. You can get a hold of us at 1-800-635-4743. Our website is surecropfertilizers.com, and you can always email me at Corey@surecropfertilizers.com, and with any questions you have, we'll be glad to answer it and work with you.
Kim Mannering with Hardy Insurance. Today we will talk about employee safety and work comp coverage. On your farm, do you ask your friends to come help? Are they considered employees or neighbors helping neighbors? Did you know that you can be held responsible just as if it's a work comp accident? Give me a call, we can discuss. 316-945-6733.
This segment brought to you by Sure Crop, liquid crop nutrition delivered right to your farm.
We're back as Duane Toews talks with Kevin Norton from NRCS.
Duane Toews joining him once again on the program. Opportunity to catch up again with Kevin Norton with NRCS out of Washington, D.C. Kevin, when we think about conservation programs, they've been around a long time, going way back into the early history of agriculture. But NRCS continues to evolve with the times and the needs of both the environment and producers. Tell us a little bit about some of the exciting things that have been going on as of late.
So very good. Well, I mean, conservation is the heart of your country, Kansas, Oklahoma, right there, really at the beginning of conservation with the Dust Bowl and the things that have gone on. So, you're right. We've changed a lot over the times as agriculture has. So we deliver, quite a very different suite of conservation programs. The Bricks and Mortar Environmental Quality Incentive Program, the Conservation Stewardship Program, that's that next level of conservation that works on the operating unit level with producers. Then we have some easement programs, emergency programs, those kinds of things that we work. Also, I think in your area, big users of the Environmental Quality Incentive Program and Conservation Stewardship Program. We implemented those programs this past year using the 2014 Farm Bill authorities, and that worked really well to keep that money going. We didn't end up with setting on $4 billion. We were a little late getting it out because of the timing of the Farm Bill to shut down, but once we got going, the producers and our field employees and our partners with the Soil and Water Conservation Districts, they went to work, got those dollars in producers' hands, and they're now able to move forward doing their conservation work. This Conservation Stewardship Program has been kind of redesigned with the Farm Bill language. The regulations just were published on Tuesday. So folks can look at those, they can give comments, the producers that use them, the partners that help deliver them, those interest groups that have a constituency base around them ought to look at those regs. We expect EQIP, the Agriculture Conservation Easement Program, and the Regional Conservation Partnership Program to be done by the end of the year and to be in full implementation in January, right after the rollover of the calendar year. So things are rolling along. The authority we had to move forward expired September the 30th. We had to get the new regs done, and those are in clearance, and we expect them to be out and for the states to deliver the programs. We have a really good model. It's around locally led conservation. We put our leadership out in the state level to work with the partners there, the state conservationists. We asked them to work at the local level with soil and water conservation districts so that they're designing their conservation program that touches that producer where they live. And, you know, from one end of Kansas to another, quite different. And from the southern part of your broadcast area in Oklahoma to the northern part, quite a bit of difference in those needs. So our programs are built so they can be refined and priorities set around what's needed locally to move the needle on conservation.
Kevin, we think about why that happened. Some folks that had some pretty good insight in making sure that those conservation efforts were locally driven and allowed to make the best impact and use of those dollars.
Oh, yes. You know, quite honestly, this country is exceptionally diverse. You know, conservation is important to every agriculture producer. They participate at different levels because they have different needs. Just like you and I are quite different, every farm's different. The boundaries of that farm, the resources inside of it, and then you have that layer of the agriculture operator on top of that, whether it's a rancher or a farmer or a forest landowner. And so, you know, to be effective, you have to be able to design your conservation programs locally. The key focal point for us is the local soil and water conservation district. They're a local unit of government under a state conservation authority, whether that's a state conservation agency or State Department of Ag or whatever. And so it's a federal, state, and local partnership that just ensures that the conservation investment of the federal government is helping those folks on the ground. The partners that we have in conservation, the number one partner is that producer.
All right, thanks to Kevin Norton with NRCS at USDA. Joining us on the program, I'm Duane Toews. Have a great day. Jamie, we'll send it back to you.
Thanks, Duane. Come back after the break for this week's Kansas Farm Bureau update.
Okay, looks like it's time for our tour. Welcome to the Fort Wallace Museum. Here at the museum, you're going to find some really interesting stuff, like our replica stagecoach from the Butterfield Overland Dispatch. We've got facades from the fort buildings. We've got an 1870s flag. There's a plesiosaur that was discovered locally. We've got the Ray pump organ collection. We're a little bitty place with a great big story, and we'd love to have you.
Kansas Corn reminds you that E15 fuel is the right choice for every kind of driver. For the car enthusiast, E15 has higher octane. For the thrifty driver, E15 is priced lower than regular unleaded. For the nature lover, E15 provides cleaner air. For the shopper who buys local, E15 has more ethanol from our Kansas corn farms. Choose E15 for a higher octane, lower price, cleaner American fuel. Message from the Kansas Corn Commission. Learn more at kscorn.com.
Kim Mannering with Hardy Insurance. Today we will talk about employee safety and work comp coverage. On your farm, do you ask your friends to come help? Are they considered employees or neighbors helping neighbors? Did you know that you can be held responsible just as if it's a work comp accident? Give me a call, we can discuss. 316 945-6733.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture. To join today or for more information, go to kfb.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back to Farm Factor and the Kansas Farm Bureau Update.
You know, Leadership KFB for me has been a great opportunity to see Kansas agriculture. I am originally not from the state, and so moving here a couple of years ago, jumping into Farm Bureau, wanting to be, the best advocate I can be for our industry here, this was an opportunity for me to get out and see all of what Kansas agriculture has to offer and really get a better understanding of that, and that way I can put myself out there as an advocate for the industry. So the different sessions has brought us to different parts of the state, which has given exposure to the different facets that we have in the industry in the state of Kansas. It's difficult for farmers to get off the farm, I know that, but it's also really important that we are the best advocates for ourselves and for the industry. And so getting to be part of a program like this is giving you skill sets and communications and speaking engagements, media training, things like that, where we can get out there and share our story with consumers on a personal level. Studies show that consumers trust where, when they know where their food is coming from. So making that connection with those consumers personally and sharing our story, being part of that and bringing them into that story really helps bridge that gap.
Stay with us. We'll be back after the break with Plain Talk.
What if U.S. soybean meal were more than a commodity? If seed companies and the soybean checkoff built a better variety. That future is here. The time is now. To meet end-user demands, the Soybean Checkoff is investing in the compositional quality of soybeans, including meal. A message from the Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Watch Ag AM in Kansas online at agaminkansas.com.
Kansas Farm Bureau has served farm families and rural Kansas for more than 100 years, and we're pleased to offer new healthcare coverage choices for Kansans in 2020 through Kansas Farm Bureau health plans. No matter what stage of life you're in, we'll have options that fit your lifestyle. Plus, our network of providers is one of the largest available throughout the state of Kansas and beyond. For more information, including the different plans available, or to get a quote, visit kfbhealthplans.com.
Ag Promo Source is a unique group of marketing specialists with one mission: help your ag business grow. Each affiliate has their own area of expertise, and they work together to bring you advice, products, and services. To get started, visit agpromosource.com. Ag Promo Source. Together we grow.
Kim Mannering with Hardy Insurance. Today we will talk about umbrella coverage. Did you know that if your cattle get out, you could be held liable for that? Call me. Let's have a discussion. 316-945-6733.
This segment brought to you by Santa Fe Trail Meats in Overbrook. Let us help feed your family.
Welcome back. Now let's see what Kyle and Duane are up to on Plain Talk.
Hi, this is Kyle Bauer with Plain Talk, with the guy who always says, even if you're on the right track, you're going to get run over if you just sit there. Duane Toews.
There's been many a day I've been on the right track, but I was going the wrong direction.
You're going the wrong direction. Now there.
It can be the right track, but you got to make sure you're going in the right direction.
Don't be going left when the whole world's going right.
Oh, every now and then you see somebody with their blinker on for miles and miles and miles. And
don't you just want to run into them and tell them, hey,
I wish there was a better system for holding up little signs in your car. So like when you went by, you could...
have it on the side, you could
flash.
type it in.
They could read that when you went by.
Right.
Maybe it would, I don't know. There's some people that have anger management issues. It might escalate.
Something inappropriate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your fact or fiction question of the day, Kyle Bauer. According to the United Nations, fairly
UN.
Fairly
I can spell
reputable
United
group.
Nations, UN.
There are over 3 million shipwrecks on the bottom of the ocean floor.
According to
fact
UN.
or fiction?
How many million?
3 million.
Let me see. I remember that one and that one.
There was the.
You know, you would be amazed
Nina,
in war
the Santa
how
Maria.
many go down in war. 3 million is a lot, but we've got a lot of years to add up here. You know what? I'll go with fact.
That's what it says.
You know, there's a lot of waste out there. It was amazing in World War II how many things went to the bottom of the ocean, and you just made more.
And some of those are kind of deep. It's a long way down to try and retrieve.
You know, it's okay if they're out in the deep water. It's the ones that are in not so deep water.
Then
I
you
just read of one recently. Big
run over something.
Big ship blew up, not so deep water, and it was loaded with lots of munitions.
Oh.
And it didn't completely blow up, so those munitions are still
there.
And they're kind of wondering what they ought to do about it.
What do you do about it?
Because there's like, well, you know, 1 million people live within 10 miles of it. I wish I could remember where it was, but
I did not hear that story.
Yeah.
I'd be more worried about driving my boat by and gouging a big hole in it.
Well, I don't think it's that shallow.
Okay.
I don't think, and let's
Well, it
face
could be.
Well, I think they would have done something with it if it was
Weren't you telling me like
shallow.
the bay at San Francisco or somewhere down there, San Diego, there's only like
San Diego,
not much draft between the bottom of the ship.
When they went to the new generation aircraft carrier, it was something like 56 feet deep, and they needed 58 feet of draft to bring in the big aircraft carrier.
Right.
And so they dredged it out to 59.
Oh, let's give them an extra 12
Let's give them an extra 12 inches.
Yeah.
Can you imagine when those propellers go by, how much it riles up that water?
I suspect the dirt would roll out.
Right,
back.
maybe after you get it by once, it dredges itself out, and then it's 80 feet deep after that. So I don't know, but yeah, no, I was just amazed at how they barely got it so it would pass.
Think of how many pounds of steel are in a ship, like an aircraft carrier.
Right.
A lot of weight.
And then they made it float.
And it floats.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, I don't know who the engineer was on that little gig, but...
Oh, they started out with a little one in a bathtub.
Oh.
And then they just got bigger
Just
and bigger.
kept made to scale.
Ships really are an amazing thing, though, when you watch them in shipyards. In fact, somebody I just talked to in the last 6 months, they have, it was somebody in Seattle at a naval yard, and they have a dry dock in Seattle big enough to put an aircraft carrier in it.
Whew.
Now, the way a dry dock works is you put the ship in there and you pump out all the water.
Yeah.
And then the ship just goes down, rests on the bottom, and then you just go to work.
Do what needs done.
For like 2 years.
Get your grinder out and buff off the barnacles.
Cut and torch and cut yourself a hole. And so, that's an amazingly large dry dock. They always said that was the big deal about World War II and Pearl Harbor. Had they bombed the dry docks, it would have taken an extra 6 months to get the Navy back to where it was, but they left the dry docks intact. And so they were able to, within a few months, put most of those ships back into service.
Thanks for joining us. I'm your host, Jamie Bloom, and I hope you enjoyed today's show. See you next week on Farm Factor.
Closed captioning brought to you by Ag Promo Source. Together we grow. Learn more at agpromosource.com.